surprised with the endless movie I have actually witnessed within the county assembly. You remember last week, a notice of motion was brought to the assembly in relation to the removal by way of impeachment of the deputy governor. Members of the press, I want you to know these facts. That standing order number 60 of the Kisii County Assembly requires specifically that the mover of the motion must table the grounds together with the particulars of allegations. But when that motion was tabled, I will tell you openly that there were only grounds, general grounds as provided under Article 181 of the Constitution, issues to do with abuse of office, gross violation of the law, which are general statements, but there were no specific charges or particulars of the allegations that were actually tabled with that motion. And we were very curious to actually establish what is this the deputy governor is being charged of. Today in the morning, that motion now was moved. But surprisingly, we realized that motion, the notice that was given last week on Tuesday is completely different than the motion that was tabled. And the requirement of the standing orders are that when you move the motion must be similar in form and content as the notice that was given. To the extent I saw the speaker trying to read a document of 8 pages, and that is not the notice that was given last week. So in actual sense, already there was violation of their own standing orders of the assembly. But most interestingly, we have also realized that the standing orders, of course, requires that process of removal of the deputy governor only cumulatively requires to take 10 days, non-bargainable. There are 7 days of notice, and when you give notice, then you are able to serve the person that you are accusing within those 7 days. That person will be able to respond in writing, and then within those 3 days, he will come and appear to actually exonerate himself from the accusations. Instead of the assembly and the people who were moving this motion now utilizing their time appropriately, because 10 days are ending on Friday, they have realized they do not have sufficient time to execute this otherwise purported removal, and they have resolved that they can be able to extend this motion by trying to amend the standing orders through Article 124 of the Constitution. It is important to say and to realize that anybody who is being accused, the burden of proof of the accusations remains with the accuser. And the Constitution, specifically Article 25, Article 47, and Article 50, safeguards and breathes life to the fundamental freedoms of any of the person who is accused. And therefore that person requires to be given a fair hearing.
The whole thing is dead on arrival. We want to urge the Kisii people, the Kisii County people, to remain united and know that the deputy governor is at peace. Because the section 60 of our standing orders and section 33 of County Government Act outlines clearly the procedure of removing a deputy governor from office. The same process is the one that applies to removing a governor from office. So as this team here, we want to say that we have seen a clear violation of the law and a deliberate move to extend the whole process, because seemingly whoever was trying to delay the deputy governor did not have enough grounds. Because the matters that we have here are matters that can be solved at home with our assistant chiefs and our chiefs and even the village elders. Because you cannot tell us to impeach a deputy governor. They had a quarrel with his wife, or they had a quarrel with his brother in matters to do with boundaries. Those are matters that can be solved within the family. So we are waiting. We want to bring it on. We will teach you the law if you don't understand the law. Sasa tunataka kusema kwamba haya mambo yote tumeona ni zile tu vipindi ya serikali ya Kisii County ambayo imejitoa kufanyia watu kazi, imerudi kufanya sarakasi, drama ambayo tumezoea hapa, na sisi hatutatishwa na hatutarudi nyuma kuambia watu wa Kisii kwamba wazidi kuambia viongozi wale ambao wamepewa nafasi wafanyie kazi. Hizi vita tunaona ambazo mara unataka kutoa deputy governor, eti akukula ugali alipikiwa na bibi yake. It's arrant nonsense, and we must call it as it is until the people of Kisii at the end of the day. Biblia inatuambia, look, nasema kwamba hata linalofanyika usiku, siku moja itafanya nini? Itajulikana. Whatever that is happening in Kisii, the master of all this drama, the mastermind of all this drama, at one day he will be stripped naked. Na watu wa Kisii watasherehekea kwa kupata amani. Thank you. You know, you cannot tell us somebody took a bribe. We know the deputy governor works in Kisii County. He doesn't work in Wasco.
You saw the evidence.
The Wasco inadili na mambo ya maji. Deputy governor ni deputy governor. Akiwa na deni ya mtu, you cannot bring to us as members to dispense that in the assembly. What I want to say is there was no attached evidence. I have the motion with me, those papers, even the members who signed, they said 51, no member, there is no even single signature. Even from the petitioner or the mover himself, he did not sign again, as provided in the law and as provided in our standing orders, the Kisii orders. Hii yote mnaona watu wa Kisii ni serikali, but it's a matter of time we will remove this nonsense and the county will be taken back to sanity. So tunaomba watu wakae na amani kwamba ama ngana na chawe boronge otwarore bintu na bikenyoro mo deputy governor atakali ko mo bijya ko mo ngina ko murugera gose namba aramane na murumu abo binde bituri ko torendera bunge na intu aba MC abantu bagusi ango rero twaso bunge to discuss kaichi basa dikite tu ayata abantu form mutinyo uri wairete matukaire anga abana bayitweze kibara ki abaye launch na his excellency the governor kaichi keire kurwa to launch. Those are the things we want to discuss. You cannot come and tell us ina ototaino mo deputy governor na usaka ewa hongo na gusena mugaba na mo deputy governor tero kora sa mache macha Wasco na bwata baraibai umu deputy governor obisi ya ntu manyete nigazi dia gukora aga ni gukora no mo deputy governor ni manyikane abantu ba Kisii county obono bosoko bana ase serikali nje buno umurayo chore na beru bosoko iyo ndo tuwe montrono yo mota sign tibuna rono uri ogekerenta to discuss with parliament abade tena abantu ba sign ya abantu 51 lakini ndo rono yo mota ka tinto kiki sign no and the law provides we can the sign ku na abantu at least 2/3 it is clear violation of the law, impunity, because it's seemingly otokaro kutumia lijiko liko kusenjai.
Vile mmesikia ni kwamba ile musoni ambao umekuwa hata nyinyi mkingoja leo umekuja katika assembly, na mimi nataka kuzungumzia mambo mawili kuelekeza procedure ile ambayo inafuatwa. Vile yule mufa wakati alileta ile notice of motion kwanza alifanya makosa, haikukuja na ile signatures na allegations zile zilizokuwa zinahitajika. Alipeana allegations peke yake, lakini hakupeana wale wali sign, japo kuwa alitaja kwamba ni 51. Sisi tulingojea leo siku ya hiyo motion kuwa discussed, ambayo ilikuwa ni leo, imekuja na hiyo motion imekuwa na dosari. Ni vile hakuweka zile signature kwa sababu we had to verify ni akina nani hawa walikuwa wamesign. Sasa hii motion ndio hii iko mbele yangu hapa, imetaja tu allegation peke yake nitawapatia, lakini wale 51 wale walisign, mpaka hata nyinyi muweka hii maneno wazi kwa umma hawakutupatia hiyo. Jambo lingine la pili, mumeona tumekuwa tukitarajia hiyo sana kwamba leo hata yule alikuwa amestakiwa huyu deputy governor Mr. Monda akupewa nafasi katika hii siku 7 ili na yeye pia akuje kutetea mbele ya bunge. Makosa mengine tumeona hapa ni kwamba wamekuja na adjournment motion kwamba hii kitu wabunge wasipewe nafasi ya kuzungumzia hii ambayo ni kazi yao ya oversight. Sasa ni kama wamegundua hii makosa yote, hawakuweka signature, zile grounds pia asiko strong vile walikuwa nafikiria. Sasa wamesema kwamba kupitia hiyo mswada ya adjournment kwamba hii rudi kwa public participation. Mswada kama hii ya mtu amefanya makosa, gross misconduct, abuse of office, hii maneno ya law, kufunza sheria, sio kitu ya kwenda kuuliza mwananchi eti huyu amefanya hii sheria tumchukulia tu yes or no. Hii ni maneno ya bunge ama court. Mtu kama wao wenyewe ndio walikuja na hizo allegations, Sasa ile kitu wangefanya, wangeachilia hii motion ifike mpaka mwisho, speaker put question ipite hapa ameanguke, kutoka hapo iende Senate, na Senate nao pia Monda apewe nafasi pia ajitetee, wabunge wapige kura kupitia kwanza committee leta report. Vile mnajua inaenda report, committee na leta report na recommendation yao, alafu inaenda bunge pia wanazungumzia hiyo, alafu ndio wanapiga kura. Lakini sasa hapa wamekuwa wacheuri, na ile sasa standing order wametumia 93 kwa adjourn hii, hiyo sio hiyo. Motion kama hii kwa sababu tunaita ni procedural motion na inagusia mambo mazito ya integrity ya mtu. Kwa adjourn ingetumika ile standing order number 48 ambao iko na option 3 peke yake. Mwenye alileta hiyo motion ana move anaidefy, anasema either withdraw kabisa ama idefy. Speaker peane wakati mwingine kuja kuleta hiyo motion, ama itolewe kabisa ikuje baada ya miezi 6 na mtu mwingine. Sasa wakatumia 93 ambayo itumike kabisa. Mimi nataka kusema kwamba sheria zile tunatumia kule bunge na hii maneno ya Kenya Constitution article 33 inapeana procedure ina maana such debates are being conducted in the assembly. Kwa hivyo hii motion wakati ilikuwa moved, mlikuwa huko, yule motion mover alimove ikawa seconded. Sasa speaker akaput question, tungeendelea, lakini hatukuenda hapo. Motion nyingine ikakuja ya adjournment, alafu ikawa seconded. Sasa yeye speaker ile nyingine ya motion ambao walileta ile main ile ya Monda, sasa wakasema watachukua hii motion eti sasa hao wabunge wasijadili hii, eti watu waende kuulizwa waichuni kwamba mnakubali Monda aende nyumbani ama asiende nyumbani. Hiyo ndio wanataka. Kwa hivyo maneno mengine ni kwamba wamegundua kwamba hii motion haitaenda mahali. In other words, they have withdrawn.
Sasa watu wanajua kama Monda walipasana na yake.
Kwa hivyo ninasema kwamba katika Kisii County Assembly yule jamaa hata zile allegation zote mmesikia amesema ni kwamba Monda alipokea ongo ya shilingi 100,800. Na hiyo koti sijui walienda koti sijui walisema EACC, na ilikuwa mwaka jana mwezi wa 5. Na ile maswali sasa mimi ninauliza na wewe unajiuliza. Hiyo kesi ilienda kwa EACC na amesema hapa nitawapatia kwamba Monda alithreaten the complainant. Sasa hiyo eti ataenda court mpaka wa leo. Na wanasema kwamba alikuwa ameripoti kwa EACC. Je, Monda alikuwa amethreaten EACC sifuata hii kwa sababu aliripoti na tangu Mei mwezi wa jana. Jambo lingine la pili. Anasema the move of the motion anasema kwamba hii petition ilikuja kwa assembly. Sisi ndio tuko kwa assembly. Petition yoyote haijakuja kwa assembly. Mwananchi yoyote akiwa na lalamishi yoyote akitaka assembly isikize anaileta in the form of petition kama ile ilikuja ya service board mlikuwa. Sasa hii haijakuja, lakini iko quoted hapa kwamba mlalamishi aliripoti assembly. When public figure anataka ku raise complaint to the assembly, he does it in a form of petition. Kwa hivyo na nyinyi mtashuhudia hiyo haijakuja kabisa. Sasa ile ya muhimu tumepewa kama wabunge ni maneno ya oversight, implementation na maneno ya legislation.
They needed to have created a special purpose committee that we called the ad hoc committee. It is that ad hoc committee that the deputy governor should have appeared to exonerate himself. But because of the incompetence of the people who are moving this motion, and they do not have the opportunity to create an ad hoc committee, they are looking for an avenue to be heard by the public because the public needs to submit petitions. But they do not create an opportunity for the public to submit. So what have they decided to do? They want to go to the public and begin to discuss with the public on allegations. And you know what is more laughable is the nature of the allegations. One allegation that the deputy governor quarreled with his brother and arrested the brother. I mean, if I quarrel with my brother and sister and my wife, are those matters you begin to bring to the assembly to transact? The other allegation that is being leveled there is that the deputy governor actually took a bribe of 800,000. And you know that 800,000, if you read through, and I'm going to give you a copy of the motion that has been moved. At some areas, they even say 799,000 and not 800. And you will see they are accusing that bribe to have been received on 28 May 2023. 10 months down the line, they want to put up the deputy governor to receive that bribe. So what has happened between May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December? We are now in February. This is complete political witch hunt, which is full of malice. And we want to tell the governor for Kisii County, I have said severally, and I want to reiterate, Kisii County is absolutely rotten. Governor is trying to compensate on his own incapacity and incompetencies. He doesn't want to deliver to the people of Kisii County. There are no services at the hospitals. There are no classes for ECDs that are being built. There are no boreholes. There are no springs which are being constructed. There are no roads. So instead of the honorable members and the public asking him questions to account to the insufficient and incapacity, he is resorted to creating drama. And for your information, and this is where I'm going to complete, the Controller of Budget has released the report on the County Government Budget Implementation Review Report for 2023-2024 Quarter 1. And in that report, the report demonstrates that Kisii County has only been able to absorb 1.7% of the total development budget. You can imagine for a whole quarter, a governor who will only absorb 1.7% of the development budget. He is not interested about development. He's interested on this kind of malice. We're asking the governor, be a gentleman, deliver to the people who elected you. And that is why also, you will also realize that the only departments which have absorbed their development money in that control of budget report, it is the Department of Agriculture and the Department of Health Services. And your guess is as good as mine, the reason as why those very particular departments have been the only ones which are absorbing that money. I want to tell the Deputy Governor, you should not be worried, because we have already seen this was already political witch hunt. We already knew it was political witch hunt. It is not going anywhere. They only wanted to cause public embarrassment to the Deputy Governor. And then they were also finding it very difficult to withdraw this very particular motion. And they thought the only way to do it is to cause an elapse. Because I will tell you through the standing orders, if that motion is not moved by Friday this week, automatically by the requirement of the standing order, that motion will have died. It can only be reintroduced after 6 months